What's up, guys? My name's All Truth. This is my first tutorial video that I'll be releasing. I've actually tried a few before, but I always mess it up. So here I am. Um, Welcome. I'm gonna teach you as much as I can, and I'm just gonna run through everything really quick. Um, if you have trouble understanding, just keep watching my videos. They're gonna, first of all, get better and better, but second of all, they'll just make more sense. Sometimes you won't get it on the first run, no matter how many times you watch it or listen to it. So don't get discouraged. Just keep watching and learning, and also do it yourself. Also, don't just sit there and watch me every day and don't do anything. Like, you gotta hop in there and do something. So yeah, I appreciate you for tuning in. Um, you can call me Truth or All Truth, whatever you want. But I'm gonna start off by just, honestly, everything in here, I'm really just gonna do things that I'd normally do, starting from scratch, making a beat. Um, all these right here are empty except this one I just threw in there. But basically, I make with my template, that opens up every time I open FL. It's already got vocal presets and everything. If I need to record, this is for sound. I'll go over that in another video. I just wanted to let you know. Basically, that's why it's already filled in. With my template, it also has these sampler tracks right here. These are channels, sampler channels. So if you go to the add button, there's a sampler. And basically it has there's no wave file, or there's no audio file at all. So that way I just renamed them and then have a placeholder for anything I want to throw in there. So now this one I did throw on, so that's why it looks like that. So I could replace it, boom, replace it, and now there's a audio file there. And I can do a lot of different stuff with the pre-computed effects or whatever I want. If it's really quiet, like the waveform is really small and it's really quiet, click normalize and it'll make it bigger. But if it's really big, it's gonna make it slightly smaller. Like, it just brings it up to a normal volume. Alright, so I'm just gonna start. I just throw on, I'll start with a melody. I could start with whatever I want. Like, you can start with whatever you want. There's no rules to music at all, and don't let anyone let you know like any different. So I'm gonna start with, see, overall FL keys is great. Just start it off just to get the notes in there. So I'm gonna start with probably my bass notes, like, see, I don't like that, so I'm just gonna mess around until I like it. Basically that's what I do. I'll add some. Let me add some top notes real quick. See, with practice, you just kind of know what notes go together without even knowing a scale or anything. I just kind of I can hear it, what notes are able to be stacked. So I'm using this right here, this slice tool at the top, and I'm gonna shift right click. Basically the shift makes it vertical no matter what. If I'm not doing the shift, it's gonna be like this, so I could accidentally chop it to the left or right. So I'll do shift, and then I could just left click and slice like that and then delete the sides, but you know how hard that is to do now, they're so small. So what I'll do instead, and by the way, I'm gonna undo. You might want to write down all these keys if you don't know them. But Control Z is gonna undo then redo, undo then redo. But if you do Control Alt Z, you can keep going backwards. So see how I have it hanging over this line, and I'm zooming with Control Scroll on my mouse. Basically, I'm zooming in, and then I'm gonna look. All right, I want it to cut everything that's past that line. So basically what this does, whenever I shift and right click, that red right there, that means it's going to cut the minority side, the smaller side, and it always leans towards the right. So if I had it right in the middle, it's going to lean towards the right. But so right here, just chop that off, and I'm going to save this real quick. So now that I got something as a basic layer, I'll Control B. Now, I Control B without selecting anything. It's going to make everything on this piano roll duplicate. So Control B does that. But it's going to duplicate it right after the last note. See, that was the last note. If that note was held over a little bit off the grid slightly, and then I Control B, now the whole thing's off, see? So I would either just move it back. By the way, I keep my magnet up here on line because it will make it move to the nearest line. And if you want it to go against that rule, you just Alt and then drag it. That's just a bunch of little side notes, but they all matter. So anyway, my point was we gotta pass this line a little bit. Let's say that's why I chopped it off like right at that line, because I wanted it all to duplicate there. But let's say you didn't want to do that, but you still wanted it to duplicate right on that line and stay on grid. Then I would control, this is why I do my duplications most of the time like this. I control, left click and drag up on this timeline, the black timeline. Select everything up until where you want it to duplicate. See, it's highlighting up until this exact line, so everything's gonna duplicate to that spot. So Control B, boom, everything duplicated to that spot, even though there's this little note hanging over. So that's just a couple ways to do it. Boom, so boom. I'm just gonna continue making this melody. It might sound weird right now, but anything is liable to change, just like those terms and conditions you never fucking read. So let's do this. I'm gonna change the sound completely. I'm gonna replace that VST that I used, which was FL keys. I'm gonna replace it with something else. It's not gonna get rid of my piano notes I did, but it will change the sound. So boom, boom. Is that my catchphrase now? All right, I'm gonna use Nexus. I don't like the last note. The last notes. So that's one melody. I'm just gonna. So sometimes you gotta realize, whenever you're making it, if you're not happy with it, don't give up. I mean, you just gotta keep going. So basically, for me, it's like I said, everything's liable to change. I just am doing this for ideas. Out of that, I change it up. So see what I just did right there was I duplicated that sound, clone that, and then I copy and pasted right here the exact same piano notes, and that way I can turn that one off and go through some more sounds but still save the old sound because I might use it. But let's see what we got here. I want to do 16 bar patterns, so I'm just gonna boom. I don't even know what I'm making, so you know, that's just, I'm just giving you the basics here. I don't always make some fire shit every time, like, just so you know. I mean, maybe I do, who knows. Alright, let's see. So to keep it on grid with everything, I'm putting my claps right there, like just a 4/4 standard time type thing. So if I had the metronome on, it would... Shout out Pink Grills. I guess that's a person. I've never heard of him really. I just have this drum kit and it's fire. So good shit. So right here I'm going to pan some shit to the left and right, you know, a little bit. I just like to place things, gives it more room, because if everything's stacked on top of each other, it's going to be overwhelming it a little bit. I mean, it's fine if you do that. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But for me, I like to separate things slightly so it gives it more room to breathe. And it feels like they're in a room with all these different instruments. So I picture like a stage right in front of me and different instruments right in front of me. That's just how I like to do it. You can do whatever you want. And now I'm gonna basically route these melodies, just all the melodies, to my mixer. I'm gonna get rid of these extra ones. Basically what I just did was I selected by clicking on one, and then I shift click or drag, and you can select multiple, and you can actually alt delete and or option delete if you're on Mac. Anytime I say alt, it's option, and if I say control, it's command on Mac. So basically I just alt deleted to get rid of those extra ones that I wasn't going to use. And then right here I'm going to shift click again and select my melodies, and I'm going to route them to my melodies section. I made like a whole section right here in my mixer, that is for melodies and one section that's for my drums. And see, they are color coordinated, so all these go to here first and then they go to my master track. If you don't understand all that, don't worry, just keep watching and watching and watching. You'll understand. I'm gonna make a lot of videos. I'll try and do it at least once a month, a video, because I think I'd like to help everyone. So I'm gonna, now that I have those selected right here, that's how you know if they're glowing right there. And I'm gonna right click on where I want it to start from, and it'll basically route them in order on your mixer. On other DAWs, you don't like have to route your tracks to your mixer. They're already routed. So like, let's say if it was on Pro Tools, it would be like track 1. It's already routed to track 1, but on Pro Tools, it's not like that, so you gotta do it manually. So I go over here, channel route, and I click route selected channels starting from this track. One good thing about FL and most DAWs is they tell you what the shortcut is for it. So like Shift Control L, it tells you how I could do that fast, or how you could do anything in here fast if you just look at these little commands. But going ahead with what I was doing is I route selected from starting from this track, and it just puts them in order starting from there. So now I got them both aligned and they're in my melody section. So now the reason why I have it all separated is because I could, if I wanted to have an effect on all my melody or turn down my entire melody, I can do that now right here, because I routed all these to go here first. So, if that makes sense, I'm going to take out all the lows. Just enough to leave room for my 808. I click cut itself right here. That makes it to where whenever a second 808 note plays, it won't overlap. Listen with it and without it. Alright, and then see, it starts overlapping. So cut itself on, or you can go on it, you click it, go to the envelope button, which is right there. Turn everything down and the hold all the way up right here. Don't worry about the tension. That makes it to where if you go to your right click and go to your piano roll for it, the note's only going to be as long as your note is. Shit like that. And if you wanted one of the notes to just keep going as long as that audio file is, like if you look at this audio file right here, that's how long it really is. If you want it to go as long as it is, then you could Alt, move it all the way to the left till it looks like that. That's gonna make it to where it plays it out fully. So like, see all this stuff is side stuff, but it's helpful. So I'm just letting y'all know. Check it out. I'm just gonna mess around. If you want to make sure your 808s are in tune, you could control up arrow or down arrow, move them around, but that goes by the octave, so it's the same note but higher, and if I go up higher I can hear the note better. So now I got those notes where I want them. I'm gonna control down arrow. Down around 5. 5 is like the middle of the piano for FL. Middle C. If you were playing a piano, it would be right in the middle. It's all about balancing your volumes as well of everything to make it all mixed together right. So you don't want certain things too loud, too quiet. It'll overpower the 808 or whatever it is that you want to breathe the most. Make room for it. Kind of Christmas vibes. So I had to get those sleigh bells, you know. That's almost what it sounds like. In a way. I copy the clap, paste the clap. So something else that I like to do is I'll connect all my notes on my hi-hat. So I'll click a note where I want them to all stop. Boom, that's where I want them to stop. Control L for legato, which connects everything, glues it together. And then, so basically what I just did was I highlighted them with Control click, left click, and then Alt U or Option U, and then you can move this little knob, make it chopped, and then you can shift down or shift up or control down, control up, octave change, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna leave it there. You can change the velocities of them right here. Make sure it's on velocity. like this, I'm scrolling on them with my mouse, which I didn't know about forever, so I'm letting y'all know. I'm gonna make my piano to the left a little bit so it sounds like I'm in the concert. Go to serum and add some other sounds. I could alternate. So sometimes I'll make a bunch of melodies on top of the melody, like as it's playing, just to hear if it sounds good together, and then I'll turn off the other melody so it's not too much shit going on. So then I'll be like, wow. See, I turned off that other one, which I like to give a spot in the beat where it breathes, you know? A quick way to delete notes that you have highlighted is Control X or Command X, by the way. So what I just did right there, I like the contrast of high and low notes with leads sometimes. This is just going to be a couple ideas. I just clone that and then find some more sounds to add. Toggle that one off for now, mute it. basically after that. After I make a beat and, you know, all the different elements that I want to arrange, then I'll just go to the pattern right here. I'll right click and clone it, so I still have the original. I made my whole beat on one pattern, and then I right click the new one and split it by channel, and I click the top one and shift click the bottom one, and boom, I can drag them all out at the same time. Drag the farthest left one all the way to where I want it to stop. I can alt scroll with my mouse to make it smaller, you know, like this. I'll grab this slice tool and do that shift right click, get rid of all that. I lined it up basically. That's the only reason why I did that, just for organization purposes. I left room on top just so that I could grab these melodies right here. So to click that top one, shift click that bottom one, drag it out. That one's already on grid. Everything's nice, looking pretty. I put a little space between them just so I can see, and then voila, boom. So I'm just gonna highlight everything, Control B, about until where I wanted to stop, which at the top, it'll probably be in beats seconds. It's not beats in seconds, but it's beats and something else, I forgot. So right here, I just click that and I put it on minutes and seconds. Boom. I like it to around like 2:15, so that's fine. Actually, I'm gonna do it one more, make it 2:40. I'll probably chop this in half. Boom. Get rid of the drums there. I'm gonna start it with no drums. So I could do anything else to it, that I feel like, but that was just a quick run through of how I make my beats and how I like arrange everything. I just listen through it entirely and change it as I go. And you might not be at that level yet, but just keep practicing, just keep going to where you know how to do that as you go. So yeah, I just duplicated everything over, had it all laid out, and then I just take things out where they need to be taken out rather than putting things in. But it's just how I do it. You can do it however. So I hope that helps you. I'm gonna have more. I'll probably do some really short videos too to let everyone know how to do quick things, because I haven't seen enough of those videos, like just short videos that just tell you in under a minute how to do things that you look up. So I'm gonna do that soon. Come back next time. Next time I drop, you better be here. I sell, just so you know, don't go yet, you slippery bastard. I have a lot of different services. I will sell loops, I will sell beats, I will sell vocal mixing, consultations, and really all types of shit. So just hit me up if you want to buy something. I'm always trying to make some money too. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.